Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm very excited that you're here joining me for our first YouTube yoga flow. So this will be a relatively short, relatively basic and beginner flow. So there'll be plenty of modifications if this is your first time, or if you're more intermediate, there will be more options for you as well. So if there's anything I know, nothing's perfect, and you gotta start somewhere. So that's both with your yoga practice and with being patient with me as I learn how to talk while I flow, or just learn how to do this thing. So, or if I look at my notes a little bit. So we'll just start. Oh, by the way, you'll need 2 yoga blocks and a mat. And if you have knee issues, it might help if you have a blanket that you can put underneath your knees. So we'll start in an easy seated pose here. Just focusing on the breath, in through the nose, out through the lips. With this breathing, I want you to feel the air move into your stomach first, and then your ribs, and then up to your chest. And out. So we'll take nice deep inhales all the way through. As you continue to breathe, I just wanted to say that yoga is not only the asana practice, so not only just the physical postures, but it's also about how you act, how you treat others, breath work, meditation. So that's why we start with some of this stuff as well. 2 more breaths here. Relaxing the shoulders from the ears. Nice straight spine. Just getting ready to start. So we'll move into a kneeling position, seated on your heels. And I like to tuck the toes under to get an extra stretch on the bottom of my foot, but feel free to untuck them or even to bring a blanket underneath your sit bones here. So on the inhale, arms sweep over. Raise up, exhale, hands through heart center, back down. We'll do 3 more. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, relax the shoulders down. Last one, hips move forward and down. Now we'll do some side bending. So on the inhale, I want you to sprinkle your right fingertips over to the right side. You can put them on a block if you need. And then left arm sweeps up and over. Bicep frames the ear. Breathe into the left side ribs. 3 nice deep breaths here. And on your next inhale, I want you to switch sides. So left hand reaches out to the left side, right arm sweeps up and over. Send breath through your side body and keep both hips rooted. Inhale for length. Exhale to arch a little more. Now we'll do 3 rounds with 1 breath on each side. So inhale over to the right. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, right arm reaches over to the left. Stay for the exhale. 2 more times with your breath. You should be feeling the bottoms of your feet if you have your toes tucked, because mine are starting to scream at me. Okay, we'll come into a tabletop position. Shoulders stacked over the wrists, hips stacked over the knees. You can kind of tap out your feet if you were tucking your toes. And then I want you to screw your hands outwards and let the elbow pits face forward. And we'll come into a cat pose. So tuck your chin, round your spine, tailbone tucks under. Spend 3 breaths here. Feel as if you could draw your pubic bone to your forehead. Send breath into the mid and upper spine. Okay, we'll come into cow pose. So drop the belly, lift the sit bones, and open up through the chest. One more breath here. So we'll do 3 times with the breath. Exhale to round. Inhale to lift. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Round through the spine. Draw the shoulder blades apart. Inhale, broaden through the collarbones, lift the chest. Okay, coming back to our neutral tabletop. We want to turn on the back muscles and protect the spine before we get going too much. So on the inhale, reach your left arm back. Keep a nice straight spine, as if you had a glass of water and you didn't want it to spill. And then if you're able, reach the right arm forward. 3 breaths here. One more. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, draw the belly and the navel in. Okay, we'll switch sides. Inhale, reach the right leg back. Stabilize, and then reach the left arm forward. You should feel a long line of straight energy from your fingertips to your toes. Draw the right shoulder away from the right ear. Last breath. Okay. Ease your way back into child's pose. So knees can stay together or come wide. You can put a blanket above your heels and extend your arms out forward. Rest the forehead on the mat. Send breath into the hips and the low back. Just do more of a passive stretch here instead of a really intense one. We're just preparing. One more breath. On the next inhale, you'll press weight through your hands, tuck your toes under, and then push the sit bones up to the ceiling for down dog. Keep a really generous bend in your knees, as this might be your first down dog ever or the first one of the day. Take a few breaths just to move into whatever feels good. You can walk your dog by bending one knee at a time. If your heels don't touch the ground, that's okay. Some days mine do and sometimes they don't. And then find a relatively steady down dog here. Again, the spine being straight is more important than the legs being straight if it looks like that. So keep a bend in the knee if you need. Okay, and then we'll move into a bit of a flow here. So step the left foot forward between the hands and drop the right knee down. Hands come up to the left knee. Settle the shoulders down. Toes can stay tucked or untuck. And then I want you to tuck your tailbone under in order to feel a bigger stretch on your right hip flexor. 3 breaths here. Inner thighs hug together. Spine is nice and tall. And then on the exhale, I want you to get your blocks if you need them on either side of that left foot. And you can wiggle the left toes out in front of you a little more. We'll come into half splits. So from here, you'll straighten the left knee and kind of shift the hips back a little further. That's why the blocks are here. You can put them on whatever setting you need, or if you don't need them, that's fine. So on the inhale, you'll lengthen your spine. On the exhale, you'll fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Inhale, straight. Exhale, round. Okay, move the blocks out of the way. Both hands on the mat here. Step that left foot back to tabletop. From here, we'll drop down knees, chest, and chin, and then lower onto your belly. We'll come into cobra pose. So inner thighs rotate up towards the ceiling. Hands by the side ribs. Inhale, lift your chest up. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Spend 3 breaths here. Use your back muscles so that you could lift your hands and you'd stay in the same spot. This is an active pose. Okay, we'll push back into downward facing dog. And then we'll step forward into Tadasana at the top of your mat. Just feeling all 4 corners of the feet rooted into the mat. Hands at heart center or by your side. Inhale, sweep them up overhead. Exhale, we'll come into chair pose. So shift the hips back. The weight goes into the heels of your feet. Biceps frame the ear. Spine nice and straight. Exhale, fold. Bend as much as you need, whatever is comfortable for you here. Inhale, come to a straight spine. So again, keep those knees bent if you need. Or you can use blocks underneath you. Exhale, we'll step back into plank pose. From here you can lower knees, chest, chin, or you can come through your chaturanga by lowering the elbows to 90 degrees. And then from here you can do a high cobra, drawing the hands backwards. You can stay in your low cobra, or if you're ready, you can push up into up dog by lifting the quads. Good. Exhale, push back to down dog. We'll do that on the other side. So right leg steps forward between the hands. Left knee drops into low lunge. Hands rest on the right knee. And tuck that tailbone under so you feel a bigger stretch on the front of your left thigh. 2 more breaths. Good, grab those blocks if you need them. We'll come into half splits. I like to wiggle my foot out a little further. Straighten into the right knee. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to fold. To make this a more active stretch, you can pull the right heel back energetically and the left hip forward. 1 more breath. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Okay, option to do cobra pose again. We'll step back to tabletop. You can lower knees, chest, chin. But I want the rest of us to come into locust pose. So spin the inner thighs up to the ceiling again. Hands interlace behind your back. Shoulders draw away from the ears. Inhale to lift the chest up. Expand through your collarbones. And then you can also lift the legs if you want. 2 more breaths here. Good. Rest your forehead down for a breath. And we'll push through tabletop to downward facing dog. From here, step forward to the top of your mat, and we'll meet in Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, straight spine. Exhale, fold. Just a reset there. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, Tadasana. Okay. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, we'll come into chair with a twist. So weight in the heels, hips sink back. I want you to hook your right elbow over the left knee. Inhale to create length through the spine and exhale to deepen the twist. Tendency here is for that right knee to shift forward and the left hip to shift back. So I want you to pull in the opposite direction to keep the knees aligned. Good, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we'll step back into warrior two. So plant the right foot, left foot reaches back at a 90-degree angle, and you'll cartwheel your hands open. Right knee stays stacked over right ankle, collarbone spreads nice and wide. Strong through your legs, 2 more breaths. Exhale to deepen the pose. Good. Cartwheel the hands back down. We'll meet into a lunge with a twist. So option to lower the left knee onto a blanket if you need, or you can keep it lifted. Right hand extends up to the ceiling. Inhale to create space through your chest. Exhale to twist further. Good. We'll go through your vinyasa. So step back to plank pose. Either lower knees, chest, chin, or go through your chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Step, hop, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, settle into Tadasana. We'll do one little reset here. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, settle at center. So we'll do the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale at prayer center. We'll do chair pose with a twist. So sink down into chair, and then hook your left elbow on the outside of your right knee. Inhale to create space through the spine. Exhale to twist, pushing your hands together. And don't let that left knee scoot forward. One more breath. And we'll forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. So we'll come into warrior two. Step the right leg back, foot angles at a 90 degree, and then you'll cartwheel your arms open. Knee stays stacked over left ankle. Chest faces the side of the mat. 2 more breaths here. Energetically reach your fingertips to opposite sides of the wall. 1 more breath. Okay, arms come back down. We'll move into our lunge with a twist. Drop the knee if you want, otherwise keep it up. Twist, we'll reach that left arm up to the ceiling. Again, as you can see, the tendency is for the pelvis to drop and the hips to become misaligned. So make sure you're bringing that left hip forward here. So the twist comes from the spine and not by opening through the pelvis. Good, we'll come through our vinyasa, step back to plank pose, lower the elbows 90 degrees, flip over your toes to up dog, and then push back to down dog. Two more breaths. By now, your heels should be getting a little closer to the mat, hopefully, as your body loosens up here. Last breath, and we'll step to the top of the mat. Now, from here, we'll come into Malasana squat. So, for some people, you can put a block under your hips or a bolster, or at whatever setting you need. Other people might be able to sink the hips down. Point the toes out to the side and the heels in. Elbows come to the inside of the knees, and spine stays straight. Couple more breaths here in your Malasana. So really, as much as you push outwards with the elbows, I want you to push inwards with your inner thigh, with the knees. Inhale, spine elongates. Exhale, maybe your hips sink a little bit lower. This is one of the best positions you can be in and one of my favorite things to do throughout the day. So, do what you need to do to lower down onto your sit bones. We'll come into a seated forward fold. So if you know your pelvis and hamstrings are tight, you can sit up onto a pillow or onto a block just to give you a little bit more room. But otherwise, root the sit bones down. Inhale, straight spine, and then exhale to fold. 2/3 of the fold should come from your hip joint itself, so this crease, and about 1/3 should come from the spine, from the lower back. So we'll make this an active stretch today. If you really need a restorative option, you could stack pillows, rest your forearms on them. Otherwise, we'll inhale and energetically pull the femurs, pull the long leg bones back into their sockets as the chest lifts. And exhale to fold just a little bit. Your hands can touch your thighs, your shins, your feet and ankles, or if you're really flexible, I'm not quite there, you can rest your forearms down on the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Two more breaths. Pull those heels back as the chest lifts. Good. Separate your legs into a wide-legged forward fold. You can face the side of your mat here. So from here, again, you want to make sure that you can find a straight spine. If that means you put a pillow or a block under the bottom, then please do that. So from here, we'll slide the right hand out towards the right ankle and reach the left arm up and overhead. 3 to 4 breaths here. You should feel opening through the left side body. Try to rotate the chest up towards the ceiling instead of collapsing down. One more breath. And we'll switch sides. So slide the left hand out towards the left foot. Right hand reaches up and overhead. Twist through the spine, through the mid-spine, to look up to the ceiling. Send breath into your right side ribs. One more breath. We'll come into a little flow here, so inhale to the right side, stay for the exhale. Inhale over to the left, stay for breath, 2 more times. Inhale, straight spine, and then bring your legs over back to the long side of the mat. You can either plant your feet and keep your knees bent or have them straight in front of you. We'll lower down one spinal segment at a time into a laying position. Nice and slow here, feel some ab work. Stop where you are, raise an inch, and then lower back down really slowly. From here, draw the knees into the chest. Rock from side to side. We're cooling down. I want you to extend your right leg straight. Wiggle your hips over to the left side of the mat a little bit. And then draw that bent left knee over to the right side of the mat for a spinal twist. It's important to keep both shoulder blades grounded. So if that means your knee doesn't touch the ground, that's okay. I'd rather have this than this, because then you're not really rotating or twisting as much through the spine, and it feels so good. 3 more breaths. On your next inhale, draw both knees in. Give a little rock, side to side or up and down the spine. And then extend the left knee out straight. Wiggle those hips over to the right side of the mat and then draw the bent right knee over. Right arm can either go out straight, extended, or you can bend the elbow and come into more of a cactus pose here. Anchor that right shoulder blade into the mat and expand through your chest. 2 more breaths. Good. Come back to center, plant both feet on the ground. And then if you have long arms, maybe your fingertips will touch your heels. If not, they don't have to. Everyone's body is a little bit different. So kneecaps are pointing up to the ceiling. We'll come into bridge pose. So on your inhale, I want you to lift your tailbone, lift your low back, mid back, upper back. Keep the thighs parallel. Don't let them splay out to the side. Option to wiggle your shoulder blades under you and interlace your fingers. Tuck your chin into your chest slightly. One more breath. And then we'll slowly lower down, upper back, middle back, low back, and tailbone. Bring those knees into chest for a little stretch. We'll do one more bridge pose. So plant your heels, prepare, and then lift the spine up one segment at a time. Interlace the fingers underneath your bottom. Broaden through the chest. Lift your hip points a little bit higher. One more breath. Slowly let the spine drape back down. We'll come into Shavasana, your final resting pose. So if you have some low back pain, or if it's just more comfortable, you can place, not necessarily a block, but maybe a pillow or a bolster underneath your knees for a bent knee pose. Otherwise, the feet draw out to the outer corners of the mat. Hands rest by your side, palms facing up. We'll take a few nice deep breaths together. Inhale through your nose. Exhale. Don't skip out on this part. I used to skip out on Shavasana because my days were so busy, but I finally realized how important it is to just rest here for a few moments and not let the distractions of everything else take you away. It's important for our minds to find a little bit of calm, a little bit of stillness. Let the breath nourish all your muscles and joints and bones. Take 5 more deep breaths on your own. Start to wiggle your toes and your fingers just to come back awake a little bit. On your own time, bend that left knee up, roll onto your left side, or your right side. Pause here, and then when you're ready, you can push the left hand into the mat to come to a seated position. Take as much time as you need here, whatever breath work or relaxation you want to do, but hopefully that felt really good, whether you're a beginner and this is your first time hearing about any of these poses, or if you're more intermediate and just wanted a little energizing morning start or something in the middle of your day on your lunch break to help you feel a little bit better. But thank you so much for joining me. If you like these kind of videos, please tell me. This is, again, my first time, but I would love to make more if that's something you guys would like to see. But namaste and have a great day.